Good evening everyone, my name is Peter Lennon. I run a marketing agency called Consultative Marketing. We're based in Kent and we do most of our work in Kent and the London area. I want to talk to you about a subject that I'm particularly passionate about, which is marketing planning. In all of my jobs, I've worked in the pub industry, in retail for M&S, in manufacturing for companies like Avon. Also worked for Lloyd's Pharmacy actually in retail as well. And most recently I've worked in the care home sector. Within all of those industries, marketing planning is absolutely essential to make sure that your company moves forward and is a success, but also tracks the market and doesn't drift away from the market, because the market's always changing. So in this marketing planning session, I want to talk to you about the first element that's really important in marketing planning, which is the external audit. And what that basically comprises of is a SWOT analysis, which stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats, and a pest analysis, which basically is an external analysis. So it looks at the political environment, economic, social and technological. Once you've gone through this process and mapped out the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats and looked at the actual environmental stuff, you can actually start to develop a marketing strategy to deal with some of those factors. So technological could be the emergence of AI. How are you going to embrace that? How are you going to adapt to it? Political, maybe changes in legislation. Within the care home industry in 2019, the Competition and Markets Authority introduced legislation around pricing transparency, and a lot of companies had to react to that and develop transparency of communication in their pricing strategy. Then once you've done that external audit, you move on to the marketing mix, which is what we call the 4 Ps. And essentially that's price, place, promotion and product, or product and service. And it's looking at how you want to price. Do you want to go for a high price, a low price? Do you want to follow the competition? When you launch a new product, do you want to price high at first and then reduce the price, or price low and then obviously move that price up? These are all the things to think about which are really important. What's the role of promotion in pricing? How many times would you want to promote within a year and why? And what are the benefits of doing so as well? On the product and service, it's really looking at the types of service that you offer, how that compares to the competition. Are there any opportunities to develop additional services? So within healthcare, you could look at maybe offering a home care service. You could look at maybe living care or overnight care, which are things you may not currently do, but things that obviously there's a strong growth in the market for. Within the beauty industry, we looked at many different products. We looked at mascara products where we were looking at like extendable eyelash brushes. So there's a real need in the marketplace for really fancy brushes on mascaras, and we developed those whilst I was at Avon. And it's many different things, but it's obviously understanding what research is telling you and adapting to that and moving forward. So actually consumer insights and research and looking at competitor trends and actually understanding the marketplace and changing and evolving with it is really important, because if you don't, you'll actually find that your company will have a massive gap between where the market is and where the actual company is that you're working for, or it may be your own business. So it's really important to understand the dynamics of the market, and things are always evolving. So if you stay still, you actually may be moving backwards. Moving on, in terms of the internal audit, it's actually looking at the people that you've got available to you in your organisation. It's looking at the strengths and the competencies that you have within your company. And it's then seeking to leverage those to enable you to differentiate yourselves from the competition. So USP, you'll hear that used a lot in marketing, and that's basically unique selling proposition. So it's why you, How are you different than the competition? Why should somebody buy from you or take your service? So that sort of comes in as part of the internal audit. It sort of comes in the marketing mix as well, but actually you are looking to leverage your people and your unique competencies in terms of actually looking at the internal audit and developing a product that's hard to copy or a service that's quite unique, because that's going to reinforce your brand because you're unique. It's clearly you that the customer wants to deal with, and the reasons why are because you're unique, your service is different, your service is better than the competition, and that's really important. And you know, Omni, which is multi-channel marketing, so that's looking at your online and your offline, and it's looking at how you market. And you know, online is you know, really important now. So developing a website, actually how you build that website, how you convey the services and the products that you're selling to the public, or it may be B2B. So if you're going through industry channels, so you're selling to trade, then that's really important. But you have a website that describes who you are, what you do, what you're selling, and overviews why somebody should choose to do business with yourselves. And then you've got traditional, so how you actually look to advertise is really important, where you advertise, and measuring the effectiveness of online and offline is really important as well. So these are all things that are really important in terms of the online, the offline, and the Omni strategy. So Omni in terms of retail maybe, but you've got a bricks and mortar store, you've got click and collect, but you also got an online operation, or you may actually deal with distributors as well. So that's really important. And this can span internationally or nationally, but I'm just talking about the UK at the moment in terms of looking at sort of an Omni strategy, and why you should actually sell in different channels as well, because it adds complexity, but there are actually benefits to do it as well. Moving forward, it's actually looking at how you would analyse any data. So if that's within online, you'd be looking at Google Analytics or Google Search Console, which will tell you how many web sessions you've had, how effective those web sessions were, how long somebody stayed on your web page, and many different sorts of things. So you actually go into, when you're looking at online, if you look at Google Search Console, you're looking at analytics around keyword mix, around how to optimize your page for Google search, which is really important because Google actually is 85% of all search engine traffic. So it's really important that you're optimized for Google and you understand the process behind SEO, which I'm going to run a separate video on that to give a little bit more detail. And then it's also looking at mobile as well, in terms of people searching for your business on a mobile or a tablet. Mobile is actually about 60-65% of all internet traffic by device. So it's really important when you're designing a website to actually optimize it firstly for mobile, but then for desktop. And when you're looking at the designs, it's to look at actually how they are displayed on all devices, all different sizes. And I'll run a separate video on that as well, around website development and developing for mobile and apps as well, because that's a really important area. And then moving forward, it's about implementation. So once you've gone through and built your plan, it's actually understanding what resources you may need, what sort of time frame are you looking at to develop your strategy, if you've got certain projects in there, what are the costs involved there, what key resources will you need any people, will you need an external consultant to help you with the project or with your strategy. These are all sort of things in analysis and implementation, and I've seen in my career a lot of plans that have gone wrong because this part here, this analysis and implementation, hasn't been thought through, and actually the project loses steam, and you know, it's not clear actually what the success factors are and how you measure that. And this is really important, and I'll run some separate sessions on analysis and implementation. Anyway, this is actually the first video that I'm doing on our YouTube channel. I really hope you like it, and please like, share and subscribe, and there's going to be lots of regular content on this channel. So thank you very much, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care everybody.